Hello and welcome to a very special festival episode of Foodocracy Kitchens, and it's Baisakhi, and we've got someone whom you know as Mr. Tikku, Gurpreet Singh Tikku, friend, younger brother. I've met him only once so far, but we've interacted so many times on social media. And he's based in Delhi. He's a Delhi boy. He loves food. He loves Delhi. He also works as a social media influencer, consultant. He does amazing videos, and his life philosophy is sort of encapsulated in this. So here is Mr. Tikku. Sab changa hai, yes,
बिल्कुल
and his favorite color is red. So we are sab lal lal today. So and so happy to have you joining, Mr. Tikku. It's so good to see you. This thing and on the occasion of
Thank you ji, thank you. It's
so
it's
you're in,
been a pleasure to be here and
yes. So
always good to chat with you, meet you, see you, talk to you. And I'm glad here and on a special day of Baisakhi. And rather, it's a very interesting day because it is Baisakhi, it is Navratra's first day, it is Ramadan has just started. The rosas are happening, the Bihu is happening today. So I think lot many goodness happening in one day. And best part is date ka naam hai 13. So as we say, tera hi tera. Everything is yours. So sab tera
uh,
hi tera. So it's a good day. And yes, apna 13th February is also my birthday. So again, tera hi tera.
and minus 7th February.
सही वाह देखो मतलब
Yes.
सही लोग इकट्ठे आ गए
अच्छा,
जी
एक और सीक्रेट
एंड
बता
हैप्पी
दे लोग,
पार्टी
एक सीक्रेट बता दे पीपल हु आर वाचिंग. सो
बता दो
एक्चुअली
जी
वी
बता दो जी मैं छुपाना नहीं चाहिए कुछ नहीं
तो एक्चुअली हमने 1 घंटा पहले वी हैड दिस चैट. फिर सब कुछ जब हो गया एंड आई एम सेइंग ओके मिस्टर टिक्कू, अभी इस बाद बाय बाय टाटा, this thing, and I was going to press. Then I saw for the first time ever, I had not pressed the record button. So we are catching up. Then मैं बहुत सोच रहा था, मैं वैसे हम बंगाली, मुझे थोड़ा फिलोसफी तो करना चाहिए. And I thought this happened so that we could again chat. You know, हमने इतने
बिल्कुल जी
सालों में जितना
देखो
चैट नहीं किया, इसके बाद I think your wife will also
आज
tell you, and my wife will tell me, you guys no more chats.
देखो अपना
You
आई
know,
एम अ फर्म बिलीवर इन कनेक्टिंग द डॉट्स स्टोरी एंड
एकदम.
आई थिंक एवरीथिंग हैपेंस फॉर अ रीजन जो शायद
हाँ.
हमें आज नहीं पता लगेगा महीने बाद नहीं पता लगेगा 6 महीने बाद ना पता लगे शायद जिंदगी में कभी ना पता लगे बट देयर इज ऑलवेज अ रीजन बिहाइंड इट एंड द रीजन इज ऑलवेज
But
गुड
well, today is the day for connecting the dots and collecting the jalebis. You were telling me that
हाँ
jalebi is a big thing, huh, for
देखो जलेबी की बात
Vaisakhi.
मत करो मेरे को मैं अपना कल गया था गोहाना और गोहाना में हमने खाई है जलेबी और जलेबी नहीं वो जलेबा था बिकॉज नॉर्मल जलेबी स्मॉल साइज इट वाज लाइक दिस बिग अ साइज ऑफ जलेबा एंड लाइक 250 ग्राम का इट्स 250 ग्राम ऑफ जलेबी and it is made only in one place called Gohana. And the reason was very clear because you associate Baisakhi with jalebis. And I thought, okay, Baisakhi hai to kuch naya karna chahiye. And we traveled 2.5 hours journey one way to Gohana, had those garam jalebis, and believe me, I can tell you very clearly, it is one of the best things I've had. मैं ये भी नहीं कह रहा जलेबी मैं सिर्फ ये भी नहीं कह रहा मिठाई it was one of the best thing and if you are in Delhi sometime next and you have those extra 7 hours मेरे साथ चलना आपको मैं वो जलेबा खिलाऊंगा और आप भी कहोगे अरे वाह जन्नत के नजारे आ गए
And 250 ग्राम का जलेबी reminds me of 2.5 किलो का हाथ, ना, सनी देओल का.
so Sunny Deol is the only one who can have the entire jalebi on his own.
But he also works out that much, na? Agar you and I work out as much as Sunny Paji, then we can also have. I will tell you my Delhi jalebi story. Huh? So, in the beginning of my career, I used to work at IMRB, which is a market research company. So, तभी हमारा research office, I was in research, was at Khan Market. And the field office was at a place called Masjid Moth,
जी
which till I went there, I used to find very funny because I thought moth, butterfly, etc. Okay.
बहुत
But
खट्टा हो जाता है
so I started working in Calcutta, and Calcutta, mein, like food is very important. So when outsiders come, we would get mishti doi for them, rolls for them, biryani for them, mishti khilayenge. फिर I came to Mumbai.
I worked with you at that point of time, and I would have come to your office, and I would treat it with all these mystery dory rolls and other stuff that you would treat me with.
And you know that was 20 years back, so I was very skinny. तो जितना मिष्टी दही दे दो, जितना मिष्टी दही दे दो, मैं मिष्टी. So anyway, then मैं मुंबई में आया, and Mumbai is all about work, 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 work. बाहर से कोई आया तो straight away still work, work, work. Lunch time you want a pizza, अच्छा चलो तो ये कुछ ही pizza. No one's even caring क्या है, topping क्या है. अरे खाओ 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 काम करो, look at this thing, जाओ जाओ जाओ. But when we used to go to Delhi, Masjid Maught में, there were people in our field office, like I remember some of the people, Aman Makkar, then there was someone called Manoj Jodi, all these people. So they would first say, नहीं नहीं आप बैठो, ये तो हो जाएगा, field work हो जाएगा. Then आएगा a newspaper which did unwrap and jalebi, garam garam jalebi from the local sweet shop at Masjid Maut. I don't remember his name, but I still remember those jalebis.
जलेबी समोसे are like two things जिसके बगैर कहते हैं ना स्वागत अधूरा रह जाता है.
So, Mr. Tikku, you were saying
जी.
that your dad says that आप तो कभी सुधरोगे नहीं. So, what are your childhood memories of Baisakhi? They were not in Delhi, right? You were telling me.
जी, so अपना I am born and bred complete दिल्ली वाला. I don't know
हाँ,
whether it's a compliment or not. क्योंकि दिल्ली वाला is like मुझे पता है मैं आपका एक बारी कैफे मिलिट्री में आया था and
हाँ,
वहां पर मैं खा रहा था आपका अंडा अकुरी टोस्ट and this
हाँ,
lady came in and she said ki where are you guys from? We were like 10 of us and
हाँ.
they were telling okay and I said I'm from Delhi wala. And she's oh you're Delhi wala. And I just
What, the
felt so
owner?
bad. I didn't
The
realize
owner or some
the
other girl?
owner's niece probably. So she said, "Oh, you're Delhi wala," and I thought, "Oh my God, the first time." So now that is why I'm saying I don't know whether it's a
नहीं,
compliment
मगर
or not, but
बॉम्बे दिल्ली
I'm
का थोड़ा राइवलरी है ना, जैसा सिडनी मेलबर्न का है, बार्सिलोना मैड्रिड का है, बॉम्बे दिल्ली का थोड़ा राइवलरी भी है. सो हमें तो खाना से मतलब है, हमें तो
हमें
खाना से
खाना से
मतलब
मतलब है हमें आप चाहे वड़ा पाव खिला लो या छोले भटूरे खा लो हमारे लिए सारे एक है खिलाओ
है.
सही बस
और
हाँ
पापड़ी
तो
चाट, पापड़ी चाट.
बिल्कुल so I am a
हाँ,
complete Delhi wala and for 5 years I've done my schooling from Shimla. I was in Bishop Cotton School which is a boarding a hostel and also Asia's oldest public school since 1859. So क्या हुआ कि घर में शरारतें बहुत करता था and my father realized कि भैया इसको सुधारना पड़ेगा ऐसा सुधरेगा नहीं. So he said, okay, discipline, the hostels are known for discipline.
yeah.
So I was admitted in a hostel when I was, 6 years old, in class 1. जब क्लास 5th आ गई, he realized that, जिस वजह से भेजा था मैंने
हाँ,
टिक्कू को, वो फायदा नहीं होगा because लड़का अभी तक नहीं सुधरा, अभी भी उतना ही शरारती है. And then eventually he said कि भैया तू दिल्ली आ जा. So why
हाँ,
I'm mentioning this is because in hostels, I was staying in hostel and hostel the session starts on around March 10th, ended on December 1st, which were winter vacations for 3 months. तो होता क्या था कि अपना my Baisakhi was always there. So
हम्म,
growing up, Baisakhi was in a hostel, and nothing much used to happen in a hostel because it's a cosmopolitan
हम्म,
society. So we were people from not only all cities and states of India. It was also an international school. So we had a lot of students from London. We had students from Thailand. So what really used to happen was that with regards to Baisakhi, कि these special days, special occasions, whether it's a festival or whether we have won a basketball match with our competitor Sanavar Lawrence School Sanar, there was always the celebration, and that
हाँ,
celebration would be sometimes a good food, probably instead of one roti you can have two rotis, instead of one dal there will be one sabji also,
This is
and
the
one
famous
interesting
Bada Khana. The famous Bada
Yes,
Khana.
but it was called बड़ा खाना. आज बड़ा खाना है. मतलब कितना बड़ा था? हाँ, हमारे लिए बड़ा था. अब भी आज याद करो तो I'm sure बड़ा ही होगा. And then these kisan squash used to come in
Kisan
glass
squash.
bottles. So as a celebration they used to pour a few drops into everyone's glass. वो जब मैं eyes इस time close कर रहा हूँ मेरे को बिल्कुल वो dining hall याद आ रहा है. मैं bench पे बैठा हुआ हूँ. And then this अपना करमू भैया and अर्जुन भी आ रहे हैं और हर अपना स्टील के ग्लास में दो दो बूंद डाल के जा रहे हैं. And then you will add water and drink and taste. सिर्फ मतलब स्क्वाश में आप एक सिप डालते हो स्पून डालते हो वो चार बूंदे थी that but those चार बूंदे were good enough to change the taste. So and somehow I don't know but how I recollect is it was always an orange squash. So I think there was probably a connect because of one. It would be Baisakhi. तो उन्होंने कहा आज हम रूह अफ़ज़ा नहीं, आज हम लेमन नहीं, आज हम ऑरेंज स्क्वाश बांटेंगे because बैसाखी के साथ हमेशा आपका येलो एंड ऑरेंज कलर होता है. And probably I think अपना it was just a coincidence, or probably I am thinking too much. But yes, those were my memories of Baisakhi when I was in a hostel. और उसके बाद जब दिल्ली आए, I think it was always starting because my दादी जी was a devout person. You know, she used to go to a gurdwara every Sunday. She used to go to a mandir every Sunday. She used to go to a dargah every Sunday. So just to add, you know, my दादी जी was a Hindu. उनका नाम श्रीमती राम चमेली था. 5 भाई हैं उनके, 5 भाई हैं और सारे के सारे ही हिंदू हैं. Same as with my dadaji. So we are, you know, a mixed society. I could say, you know, a mixed religion, or you know, क्या word है मुझे
In
exactly
the
नहीं
same
पता. But
family.
yeah, so what I want to add was, you know, सुबह उठ के उनका टिक्कू चल मैंने ना गुरुद्वारे लाए चल. So I would take her to गुरुद्वारा, you know, अपना दर्शन करते थे वहां पे. आते हुए क्या होता था, बाहर बहुत सारे स्टॉल लगे होते थे खाने के, लंगर के. So we would always जलेबी का स्टॉल होता था, राजमा चावल होते थे, कड़ी चावल होते थे. Somehow I think it was also because येलो का कोई रीजन था. तो सब कुछ खा खो के ना आप 1 बजे तक घर आते थे, इतना मजा आता ना, because you had, you know, खाना भी खा लिया, दर्शन भी कर लिए, दुनिया भी देख ली, और इतना एक अलग सा मजा होता था. सो यस, अपना दोस्त मेमोरीज. आज भी अपना कड़ी चावल घर में बनते हैं, आज भी मीठे चावल बनते हैं. सो मीठे चावल की एक हमारी परंपरा है, रीत है हमारी, वेयर ऑन अ बैसाखी डे वी मेक दीस मीठे चावल विच आर, यू नो, एक शगन के तौर पे आप चाहे 1 चम्मच खाओ, मैं 10 चम्मच खाता हूँ. सो वो बनते हैं. So those are the kind of, you know, Baisakhi memories I had pretty earlier in my life. Then till my dadi was there, because it was always about her and taking her to Gurdwara. Because क्या होता है ना, आजकल के बच्चे रिलीजियन से और चीजों थोड़ा दूर भी भागते हैं, rightly wrongly. But जो घर का जो बड़ा होता है, I think she or he binds all these together because they want to impart that learning or that knowledge or that belief system into you. So yes, जब तक दादी जी थी तब तक हर बैसाखी सुबह गुरुद्वारे जाना. And I think that is it. These are the small things that we have been taught over and again repeatedly.
So I was speaking to Shalini, who's a Sindhi, and Chetty Chand here today. So un loga ka, they have a rice called sesa, which is also
जी
like a
जी.
meetha chawal, and you know they. So I was smiling when you're talking about the orange juice or dadima, because those memories are something which aaj ka zamana hai about cold pressed juice and organic orange and wo sab. Magar you know, there's this thing aajkal and social media. You know, whenever there's a mention of a brand, people will say not a sponsored post. Well, I come from a time when if there was something sponsored, we would mention, not a sponsored car. So I don't know. Anyway, maybe the Kisan people can take some free this thing from us today. But you know,
We are
when I
open, you
was a
know,
kid,
whether it is Kisan, whether it is Druk, whether it is
with
Ruamza, whether it is
Nova, Nova, yeah,
and we are wearing a red color. So Coca-Cola, please, you know, we are the right people.
Coca-Cola, Pepsi Cola, some लोग हम see, we are food freelancers, so we are dropping very heavy hints. You know,
Right.
please, you know, support us and give us sponsorships.
So talking
We
of
will.
what you just said, talking of red, you know, let me just, you know, throw a riddle at you. So the riddle says, you know, half a circle, full a circle, half a circle A, half a circle, full a circle, right angle A. So can you guess the brand?
अरे ये तो उल्टा हो गया. This is like if you take a typical Sardar joke, it would be that the Bengali is asking the question and the Sardar is saying, अरे ये तो उल्टा हो गया. You are asking me the question. This is not
Sir,
allowed anyway, and I can't figure out. आप बताओ.
okay. So मैं बताता हूँ आपको. It is very simple. The answer is which you just mentioned was Coca-Cola, and I'll tell you how. Like half a circle, full a circle, half a circle, A, half a circle, full a circle, right angle, A. That is Coca-Cola. Half a circle, full a circle, half a circle, A, half a circle, full a circle, right angle, A.
See, you have to say it in that thing. So, like I was saying, you know, when I was a kid, when I'd come to my grandparents' house and my grandmom, you know, doing marriage here in Delhi till my grandfather retired, and they came to Calcutta. So, was summer holidays, may after we'd go out to play, we'd come back and you know that squash, Kisan, Nova, Drok, whatever, and orange would be the most aspired, and then thoda sa regular water mein, then chini, because otherwise you'll have to take out more squash, and then this is it, and then
And
fridges
and
were really rare.
chili was सस्ता than the squash. इसलिए घर वाले कहते चीनी यूज कर लो थोड़ी सी फ्लेवर नहीं करो.
And then a few years later, Rasna came. I was still in high school. I don't know. You were not born then.
नहीं नहीं, I was very well born. I should say that you are overestimating my age. I am underestimating my age. I am much bigger than I think what you're perceiving me to be.
You are Sadabahar. You are like Otmis. So I remember that wo Rasna ka wo bada patila
रसना में दो,
leke,
हाँ.
little bottle, and then putting, and then making two bottles out of that, and then we feel so important. But chalo, I mean, we've tried. जैसे कहते हैं chance में dance. So Tiku and I
जी.
both tried. जिसको भी आपको sponsorship देना है दे दो. We'll split it 50%.
हाँ, बिल्कुल
So and
बिल्कुल.
and
And
Baisakhi ka bhi day hai. So you were telling me that orange squash. Abhi bhi peete hai aap? Do you ever drink it on Baisakhi to remember those days, or tried giving it to your kids?
not
Maybe you
really,
should.
not really. So
कल
like
लेके
if you
आओ.
ask, हाँ जी,
कल कल आप लेके आप मंगा लो एक बार. इतना बार आपको
मैं मंगा दूँ.
याद
मेरे
आ
ख्याल से
रहा है.
घर
कल
में पड़ा ही होगा.
हाँ,
कोई ना कोई शरबत जरूर पड़ा होगा.
कल एक
रादर पता है
स्क्वाश
क्या
बना
अपना,
लो.
हमने ना चेंज कर दिए concepts. Lot many people in earlier times had a sharbat for every occasion.
हाँ,
जैसे हम ठंडाई की बात करते हैं,
yes,
इट
yes,
वाज
yes.
एक्चुअली दिल में ठंडक डालने के लिए. हर चीज का एक सीजन होता था, हर चीज का एक रीजन होता था. कि अगर मैंगो आ रहा है आपका गर्मी में तो देयर वाज अ रीजन. तरबूज आ रहा है गर्मी में कि भैया उसको गर्मी में खाओगे तो ठंडक मिलेगी. एंड हर चीज की एक तासीर होती थी. आई थिंक टुडे व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज क्योंकि हर चीज बिकॉज ऑफ कोल्ड स्टोरेज हमेशा अवेलेबल है, तो वी हैव
Yes.
एक्चुअली फॉरगॉटन और हम हर चीज पैक लेने लग गए हैं. नहीं तो पहले आई रिमेम्बर हम सदर बाजार में हमारी दुकान थी, साथ में एक शरबत वाली दुकान होती थी.
तो
एंड
आपकी
ही
दुकान
वुड,
था सदर बाजार में?
हाँ जी हाँ जी, मैं पापा की
Ah,
दुकान
I
सदर
went there
बाजार में.
एक साल 1 year back, 2 years back, and I ate at Sardar Meat Wala, then Narendra Sweets. Narendra Sweets,
नंद स्वीट्स
नहीं,
नहीं, अपना मदन
कौन
लाल
सा?
स्वीट्स होगा
Madan
या
Lal
फिर
Sweets.
नंद के
Madan Lal
भटूरे होंगे.
Sweets, and then the Ashok and Ashok thing.
मटन,
Yes,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
but
तो
was
आई बीन,
Sardar ji ka meat? That was Sardar Meat Wala. His meat curry was,
नहीं
हाँ.
तो आई ये नंद के भटूरे बिल्कुल साथ में गली में उसके भटूरे आई थिंक
अरे
आर
मिस
द
हो गया.
बेस्ट भटूरा. सो यार यार आपने ना गलत काम कर दिया. आपने वो भटूरा मदन लाल की शॉप याद करा के अशोक जी अपना दुकान की. आई एम टोटली लॉस्ट नाउ. इफ आई ड्रूल व्हाइल टॉकिंग, डू नॉट ब्लेम मी. आई एम एक्चुअली नॉट
And the gentleman was
इवन.
so sweet. The
जी.
father, जिसका father ने किया था, कि I had gone just after kanji season. So
हाँ जी हाँ
then
जी.
he said, after try करोगे? So I said, okay, because I
वो
read so
मदन
much
लाल
about
जी
it.
में हुआ होगा, मदन लाल
हाँ,
की दुकान.
but
वो
they had stopped selling it, but he had
हाँ
some
हाँ
of his own personal stock.
हाँ.
He gave me
सेठी
that.
साहब is the person and
What a
does
sweet,
really good work.
yeah. And
And
their jalebis are very good also. Huh? Madan Lal
बिल्कुल
ka
बिल्कुल.
jalebi, samosa, fresh, garam, garam. Ooh.
Rather अपना if you come to Eid, they will make this gulab barfi that they make
हाँ.
Eid वाले time पे. So best part क्या है इन पुरानी कुछ shops ना, they have kept many traditions alive. नई shops तो नहीं करती because sale नहीं होता होगा या उनके पास लोगों को पता नहीं है. But there's some shops which keep the tradition alive. जैसे आप आज की डेट में जाओगे तो आपको जैसे which is also Bengali concept of लुच्ची. लुच्ची बंगाल में हर जगह मिल जाएगी, दिल्ली में नहीं मिलती. There are only handful of 8 to 10 places which will sell luchi on Navratra or Ramnavami.
हाँ.
So I think जो चीजें हैं ना पुरानी, I think we need to thank these people to keep still they have kept the tradition alive, though the demand has reduced. But
अच्छा, मुझे
luchi.
एक चीज बताओ. This famous Sitaram छोले भटूरे, and I went there a couple of years back जब मैं Alex Sant के साथ we were shooting. And one thing which I noticed over there is, like, unlike the sweet shops like Evergreen, yeah, Nandu or Bengali and all these places, कि यहाँ पे over there, like, the bhature will come to your table and fried, or even at Shiv Sweets in Old Delhi with slightly paneer flavor. But at Sitaram, I don't know, because it's the old stall culture, but the bhatures were kept ready, and you would place your order and they would heat it and give it. So
So
how
I
is it
think
at
that is
Nande? Huh.
that is exactly my reason of not liking Sitaram. I think
Hmm.
baturas are always supposed to be had, those
Garam
फूले
garam.
हुए
They
पोले
should burn
हाँ
your
गरम
fingers.
वो
You know,
चिप हाँ
a bhature requires you to wait. You
you know
can't
it
rush and finish a bhature.
हाँ
You need to see it. You need to admire it. You need to maybe
you need to
pay your
poke your
respects to
finger
it,
into it.
and then gently
हाँ
caress
you need
it,
to
and then
actually
yeah.
poke your finger into it and जब धुआं निकलता है गरम गरम वो
वैसा होना चाहिए.
I think we have overdone, how to drink wine and how to, do other things, but we don't know how to eat छोला भटूरा. छोला भटूरा का एक
Exactly,
कला होना चाहिए. प्यार से
exactly.
देखिए उसको, निहारिए उसको, थैंक यू बोलिए, उसको बोलिए आप मेरे पेट में जाने वाले हैं, आप मेरा ध्यान रखिएगा. फिर बोलिए उसको आराम से उठाओ, हल्का सा प्रेस करो,
Exact.
and then put your finger inside, let the धुआं come out, inhale the धुआं like आप steam लेते हो, and then प्यार से कढ़ाई उतारो, अंदर देखो कि हाँ जी उसमें पनीर लगा है या कैसे लच्छे
हाँ,
बने हुए हैं. प्यार से उसको खोल के छोले पे लगाओ, साथ में अचार लगाओ और फिर
और
आप
कांदा,
खाते हुए आराम
प्याज,
करो खाओ. अरे वाह मजा आ गया.
और प्याज. You know,
हाँ प्याज के बगैर तो अपना
प्याज
कुछ
and mirchi, the raw प्याज.
rather I just add also one thing, because you're talking about season. So there are only many shops which only so सर्दियों के अंदर वो apart from मिर्ची प्याज they also give आमले का अचार.
Yeah.
तो आमला अपना I think it's called gooseberries.
Yes.
तो
Yes.
आमले का अचार तो मेरी दादी मुझे याद है she used to do say two things. पहली बात कि भटूरे लेने जा रहा है, सर्दियों का मौसम है, आमले का अचार जरूर लेके आना. दूसरी बात, she always used to give, like, apart from many learnings that have come over from the elders, one was, आमले का खाया और बूढ़े का कहा बाद में काम आता है. I'll repeat, आमले का खाया और बूढ़े का कहा बाद में काम आता है, which means that, when you eat amla, you may not see the results now, but eventually
Yes.
after 20 years, it builds your, entire system so strongly कि आपको बाद में पता लगेगा. And बूढ़े का कहा, obviously, today when
The
our parents or our grandparents say something, we ignore, we don't agree,
uh,
and we just, go away. But
uh,
it is later that we realize that, okay, what he said at that point of time made so much sense, but only with time
absolutely.
we get to know about it, and that is why आमले का खाया और बूढ़े का कहा बाद में काम आता है.
What are the other food things? So there's jalebi is a must. Curry chawal bol rahe the, rajma chawal. Are there any other sweets or matris or
मीठे
meethe
चावल
chawal?
is
Yeah,
होता है.
the
हाँ
jarda
तो
chawal.
वो है अपना मस्ट. आई थिंक वो दूसरा क्या होता है ना कि kesari, like kesar is always again that
Yeah.
I'm overdoing that orange and yellow thing, but I think kesari, kheer, these are always things that go very well with festivities.
So since you were talking of KC, why don't you tell us a bit about Baisakhi and the significance of the day in terms of the
बिल्कुल.
Khalsa and the, you know?
So, apart from Baisakhi being a harvest festival which has been going on for many years, roughly around 350 years back. So, I may, my facts may not be accurate, but I'll just give a,
Yeah, yeah.
some outline. Outline is that around 350 years back, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, on a day of Baisakhi, because it was always a festival, a harvest festival, lots of happiness and joy, when all these people were collected at Gurdwara Anandpur Sahib, who were devotees. So he announced, because of his practice, that about Sikhism, which is also about Khalsa. So basically, when you say Khalsa, Khalis comes from the word pure.
Mhm.
Khalis, Khalis ghee. So Khalsa comes from the word Khalis, which is pure, and he announced about Sikhism. And it was very simple thing. He realized, because we always have faced lots of invaders, and time and again Sikh gurus have come out and have fought against it. So he said, okay, let me create an army of people, army of people who would become a soldier and fight against any injustice that happens to our homeland. And that is how Sikhism was born. And
And
that
it's
is
on this
how
day. And it's on this
yeah,
day,
as on this
on
31st
Baisakhi. Wow.
on Baisakhi, bilkul, because it was a Baisakhi get together, and he said that, okay, each one of you devote a son to Sikhism, make him a soldier. And if you ask about me, my family, my parents, my grandparents are from Peshawar. which is in like the erstwhile India, now Pakistan, almost on the border of it's the border of Afghanistan. Also, the
I remember your post when you had gone to Peshawari of the ITC
yes,
hotel.
yes, yes.
You saw it and you were so excited and you put up a picture.
And
I
it is
remember
said that
your, yes,
Stories are the most, they are the biggest foodies in the world. The way
Peshawaris.
they cook their food and their meat. Again, if you
Uh,
ask me, what would be one of my top wishes, it will be to go to Peshawar and eat at Namak Mandi. I'm not sure if you have seen, but you should, just search for any video of Namak Mandi, and you
uh,
will just love those videos. You love the food, you love the
wow.
culture, you love the language over there. Just search for Peshawar Namak Mandi and beautiful videos from there. So, Kyle, before I get transported, let me come back. So, my father was from Peshawar, and he was a Hindu. He was a Sahijdari, did not used to wear turban, even used to smoke, but a very, very, very strong supporter of Sikhism as a culture, Sikhism learnings. And it was he who decided, okay, my son, my father was the only son, he will become a Sikh. I want him to become a Sikh. And that is how my father was a Sikh, and it carried on to us also. And I think that is it. So Baisakhi is, yes, a very important day, not only with regards to harvesting, but also because Sikhism was born on this very day, roughly around 350 plus years around
Wow.
350 years.
That's so
Gee.
amazing to know. And in fact, there are a lot of yeah, you've often referred to it sometimes during conversations or in social media also, that there are a lot of sayings in Punjabi, in Sikh, in Gurmukhi, which you heard from your grandmom and so on, which have in a way like shaped who you are. I mean, probably that explains why whenever one has any interaction with you or anything which one you post, it always leaves one with a bit of sense of joy. So, are there any of these lines you'd like to share?
Yes, yes. Again, sometimes you don't need to teach your children or people around you. You just, if people are just hearing how things are around you, you start getting, it gets imbibed into you. So I remember my dadi, like she used to always say, so one of the things with regards to food that she used to say and believe, and we started believing automatically was, called, Hey Bhagwan, uh, ho. Uh, One chako, khand chako. I'm so sorry. I just, wandered into a different world. So it was like, one chako. One means, divide. So one chako, khand chako. Does mean divide and eat. So, if there's someone in front of you,
Share.
ask him, share with him. So it was all about sharing. And when you share your food, the food that you're eating, is more meetha aur ho jata hai. It gives you more happiness. Then, there have been things like, how to keep your calm, which is simple that, एक चुप ते सौ सुख. So normally क्या होता है, कोई भी लड़ाई होती है, whether it is
Uh,
with an outsider, your family, your parents, your spouse, your children, anyone. So you keep talking about it. But क्या होता है कि वो कहते हैं कि एक चुप ते सौ सुख, कि अगर एक बंदा चुप हो जाएगा तो सामने वाला भी अपने आप चुप ही हो जाएगा. So that has also helped me to keep my calm and अपना keep doing मतलब एक चीज सिखा दी कि टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है जिंदगी में. एंड जिंदगी में ना कभी भी नेगेटिविटी डज नॉट यील्ड यू एनीथिंग. इट विल ओनली टेक थिंग्स अवे फ्रॉम यू एंड लीव सम बैड रिमार्क्स. सो अपना जब आपको कुछ दिखाई देगी कोई नेगेटिविटी है, बस वहां से चुपके से निकल जाओ और अपना मुंह उधर कर लो या अपने थॉट्स चेंज कर लो, एंड योर लाइफ विल बी बेटर. एंड आई थिंक इट हैज वर्कड फॉर मी. As of yet, it has been working. I hope I keep remembering all these learnings that she has said. Like one of them was, very simple, which said that एक ने कही दूजे ने मानी, नानक कह गए दोनों प्रभ ज्ञानी. So that is
ये
it. It is
ये थोड़ा
also,
एक्सप्लेन
it's
करो.
all about,
ये
हाँ,
वाला थोड़ा ये थोड़ा
हाँ,
एक्सप्लेन
just
करो
that,
आप.
एक ने कही दूजे ने मानी. So नानक कह गए दोनों प्रभ ज्ञानी. So when if someone says to you,
Ah.
accept it. You don't have to argue on everything. Somewhat similar to what we have said earlier, but it was very simple कि एक ने कही दूजे ने मानी, नाना कह गए दोनों प्रभ ज्ञानी. So there is no लड़ाई मत करो किसी भी
हाँ,
चीज के अंदर.
ये तो
चुपचाप.
सबसे पहले हर फेसबुक पेज का हर फेसबुक फूड का पेज का मोटो होना चाहिए. यार अगर कोई पोस्ट कर रहा है, डोंट गो टू से हाउ मच बेटर यू नो. आई थिंक योर एंटायर फिलोसफी इसमें summed up.
It's
Some
all about
changa hai.
Satsanga. Satsanga is very simple. It is similar. All is well. So अपना
All is.
हम हमेशा कहते हैं ना कि ये पल भी गुजर जाएगा. So
Uh,
again, I'll repeat it as a story, a very short story that एक बारी अपना लाइफ में कहते हैं कि ऐसा कौन सी लाइन है एक सेंटेंस के अंदर जो आपको दुख भी देती है और सुख भी देती है. It is ये पल भी गुजर जाएगा. So when you are दुखी, it says ये पल भी गुजर जाएगा. इसका मतलब कल सुख आएगा. और जब आप सुखी हो तब भी आपको अपने आप को रिमाइंड करना है कि ये पल भी गुजर जाएगा, which also
दिन
gives you दुख.
दिन नया पल आएगा.
एक नया पल आएगा. देखो, life is ever evolving. The only thing I have told my children repeatedly for the past 7 years is बेटा keep evolving. दोनों बच्चों को keep evolving because life was very different. हमारे grandparents के पास भाई पंखा नहीं होता था. न्यूज़पेपर या उनसे हाथ वालों से करते थे. तुम्हारे पास एसी भी और एक नहीं चार चार है. हमारे घर में एक टीवी आ जाता था. ये सारों होते हैं. आज ऐसी लाइफ है कि यू हैव लाइक कितनी, आई थिंक हमारे घरों के अंदर 10-10 स्क्रीन होंगी. आपके पास 2 फोन है, आईपैड है, लैपटॉप है,
Yeah,
2-3
yeah.
टीवी होंगी, एंड देन यू हैव अदर काइंड ऑफ स्क्रीन्स. टुडे इवन द वॉच इज अ स्क्रीन,
Yes,
है ना?
true.
So I said, eventually life will keep evolving and never keep looking back. Just keep moving forward, evolve with the times. And I think what COVID has taught is like very clearly कि भैया life has to keep evolving. अगर हम अपना वही मतलब कोविड ने तो जिंदगी बदल दी ना भाई सबकी. मतलब what we thought.
But we are chatting like this today. In the past, एक बार मुलाकात होता, then we chat.
That is what I said. We have evolved. I think we
Yes.
have to keep evolving with things with the given infrastructure and make the best of it. And रोना नहीं है पीछे मुड़ के. आगे देखना है क्या नया करना है. And I always say that someone. So I remember when I used to go to a bank which was an old Sarkari bank near my house. So this man always sitting on that bank and writing in a notebook, always trying to say नहीं कल आना ये करना, and very rude to us. Typewriters came in and he still was working on that. And eventually when computers came in, I just talked to him and uncle, आप भी computer सीख लो. He says ये बस का नहीं है. जो मैं अपनी वो कर सकता हूँ ना, मैं अपने जो अपने खाते में
Exactly.
कर सकता हूँ, ये लोग थोड़ा ना कर पाएंगे. And then when I after 5 years at bank, I realized that person was a very frail person sitting in one corner, literally doing nothing because Sarkari bank the job be confirmed thi. But he was a different version because he did not upgrade, evolve, and kept saying no to new things. He and being in his own bubble, he never upgraded himself, and they were like 22-year-old, which bypassed him. So life में क्या है, आपको evolve होना पड़ेगा और evolve हर stage पे होना पड़ेगा. हर आप चाहे अमीर हो गरीब हो, sorry to use this, but what
No,
I am just to clear a point, आप अमीर हो गरीब हो, आप चाहे 22 साल के हो, चाहे आप 50 साल के हो, चाहे आप 80 साल के हो, I think one has to keep evolving in life.
no, I think those are fabulous and very amazing words, and it's very visible in the work which you do. मगर आज बैसाखी है, so I can't let you go, Tikku, without एक तो गाना सुना दो, one or two lines. You're a big Pankaj Udhas fan. We've already done an interview, so we know all of this. तो एक गाना तो सुना दो.
So Pankaj Das has been my favorite, but क्योंकि बैसाखी, I would just quickly, also मेरे को एक line याद आ गई गुरदास मान साहब की, which is one of my favorite lines.
Yes.
And which is simple words. बाकी दियां गल्लां छड्डो, दिल साफ होना चाहिए, which means leave everything apart. Your heart should be pure, it should be khalis. बाकी दियां गल्लां छड्डो, दिल साफ होना चाहिए. And quickly coming to Pankaj Das sahab, and जिस गाने को गा के मैंने अपनी बीवी को पटाया था. Now my wife.
Breaking news.
And matches her also. I did not, try to. मैंने कुछ बहुत बड़ा चढ़ा के नहीं किया. Which simply says, चांदी जैसा रंग है तेरा, सोने जैसे बाल, एक तू ही धनवान है गोरी, बाकी सब कंगाल. जिस रास्ते से तू गुजरे वो फूलों से भर जाए, तेरे पैर की कोमल आहट सोते भाग जगाए, जिस पत्थर को तू छू ले वो हीरा बन जाए. So that is it. And thanks a lot. Happy Baisakhi.
Thank you. Happy Baisakhi to you, to your family, to everyone watching. And keep your hearts pure and enjoy every moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I know. ऐसा हक करता है ना. Yes.
सही है, perfect है जी, thank you, bye bye, tata.
Bye.